Welcome to Creative Arts Virtual. I am Ramona. Welcome to my grounding experiment. I did a grounding experiment. In the experiment, I took my cat's cat grass and put grounding tape or electric tape, all-purpose tape, that tape that's conductive. I took it and I put a couple of inches of it inside the soil. And what happened was the cat grass lived 4 or 5 months instead of 1. And I thought, what if I did that for a garden and I lined the whole pot inside, still leaving the holes for water to flow through and air. What if I lined most of the pot with this tape? Would that allow the plant to live longer? If it's a fruit plant or a vegetable, would that allow it to live longer because it has the electrons of the earth as though it were outdoors? So in February, I started ordering different things. Seeds. I started in January ordering the seeds, but I started in February receiving them. One of the plants that I purchased was an avocado plant. And when it came, it had the 2 sets of leaves. The stem was green and it was beautiful. I do not know anything about gardening. I literally started gardening when I ordered the seeds. I knew nothing. So I knew that it was going to be a learning curve, but I didn't think it was going to be, I didn't think I was going to have all the pitfalls that new people have, but I pretty much do. I still am dealing with the mold bugs that came. Anyway, so what happened was with the avocado, it wasn't acclimating very well. The transplant shock, as well as the temperature, and it was by a door that had a breeze. And so what I did was I put tape on it and I covered the outside with plastic, and the leaves that were starting to get dots and turn brown pretty much stopped, and then more leaves started to grow. And eventually, after a month and a half, the stem started to turn brown. I have cinnamon in the pot because of putting too much water and then mold with the bugs and all that. And the tape is still on the pot, so it doesn't look very attractive right now, but it's growing. And if you look at the other avocado plant, that one was grounded with the tape in the pot, completely lined from seed. I did that one myself. And I did that one, I don't remember if I did it just before or just after, but it was not too far from when I had ordered the other one and received it in the mail. So what you'll see in that one is that the stem is probably almost 3 times higher. There's leaves coming in various places in the stem, and the stem already strengthened and turned brown. Was that from the electrons? I don't know, that's the experiment, right? And here's the other thing that has happened so far. This is a journey because the idea is for it to last longer, so we have to get it to grow fruit or have a vegetable and then last longer, right? So this is the beginning stages, but I'm seeing differences already, right? So I planted 40 feverfew seeds and 40 ashwagandha seeds, thinking that I would get maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. I got 40 for each of them. And again, I'm new, so I didn't know that was going to happen. They tell you to plant quadruple of what you really want to get. So I'm like, all right, I'll just try it. I put it in like the eggshell, egg carton, egg carton. And I lined the egg carton with the tape, the conductive tape, even the one that had the grooves. And so the ashwagandha was in the flat side of the egg tray, and the feverfew was in the one that had the bumps for where the eggs sit. So neither one of them had enough soil because I'm new, right? So I get all of them. I take the plastic off of both of them and they start wilting. So I think, oh, they're crowded. They don't have enough soil. Let me transplant them. This wasn't on purpose, but the feverfew got transplanted and immediately connected to the rack with the grounding tape. All 40 of them. And I had other seeds too, so I had 100 pots. Go big or go home. And some of them got overwatered and died. Some of them got underwatered and died. Some of them got sprayed from the spray water. And yeah, I tried to spray next to the seed and the water bottle went the other way, and instant death. So there's about 10 left, but they all survived. For weeks, they were living and growing. And when the ashwagandha was ready, which was about 2 weeks after the feverfew, I was overwhelmed with over 100 pots already, and that was another 40. I also didn't have space on the rack. And I had seen a video and it said, when you transplant, put them in the shade and leave them there for 3 to 5 days. I said, okay, I don't have space on the rack anyway, so I'm not going to connect them to the grounding rack and the tape. The next morning, at least 10 of them were no longer there. The next day, another 5 to 10 were gone. The next day, same. There's not many left, but none of them were on the grounding tape. I was very sad and devastated because I love them and they're alive, and they died because I didn't know what I was doing. So, and I was following, just following the advice, but they were really young. They were like 2 weeks old. They didn't have their true leaves yet. I didn't even know that true leaf was a thing and you needed to wait until the 2 sets of leaves were there before you transplant. So I take the few that are remaining and I have them now connected to the grounding rack. Don't know if they're going to live because they haven't been on the rack in over a week, but yeah, I have them on there. And what did I see? I saw that the feverfew, even though various things caused them to die, they did actually survive. And they were growing. And some of them still are alive. So I did see a difference with the 2 avocados. And by accident, I saw the difference between the feverfew and the ashwagandha. So that's part 1 of this beautiful journey of, does grounding your garden help it live longer? Let's see.